Hello friends, this is Carrie and welcome back to I Like Reddit channel. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy. Today we have 4 stories out of some different subreddits, including Entitled People, Pro Revenge, and Entitled Parents. Let's begin. Our first story is posted by Anonymous Mommy. Entitled woman thinks she can touch my drinks and my kid. How dare you drink coffee while pregnant? I'm 8 months pregnant, 26 female, and this takes place in March, a little over 2 months ago. I was in a coffee shop enjoying my evening with my 3 kids, 2 female, 4 female, 6 female, and I just ordered hot chocolate for my 2 oldest babies and a milk for my youngest. I also ordered a hot tea for myself. When my name was called, there was a woman about 60 or so there. We'll call her Karen. She saw me reach for the tray with drinks, but she got there first and threw my drinks in the trash, crying about how I'm being irresponsible and should not drink coffee while pregnant. The thing is, my oldest, we'll call her Lucy, was standing beside me and she started crying and hugging my leg. The barista saw this and she made us more drinks. And again, Karen did the same thing. Lucy was crying harder, which got my other 2 kids. We'll call the 4-year-old Sophie and the youngest we'll call Erica, started crying too. I picked Erica up and Karen snatched her out of my arms. Here's the conversation. Karen, how irresponsible are you? First ordering coffee for yourself and then these young kids, and now holding a child while pregnant? Me, give me my daughter, now. Karen, no, I will hold on to her for you. I am a much better parent than you are. Me, listen lady, I ordered milk for my youngest and hot chocolate for my 2 other kids, and tea for myself. And you have no right to touch any of my kids. Give me my damn daughter, you bench. At this point, the cops came. I assume someone in the cafe called them, most likely the barista. The cops asked me if I wanted to press charges. Since where I'm from, it's illegal to touch anyone without theirs or their parents, if they're a child under 16's permission. I told them yes. I don't know what happened after the cops took her away, and they gave Erica back to me. The cafe refunded me for my drinks and made more and gave them to me. They also gave me free pastries since they felt bad. I declined, but they insisted. Our next story is by Susan Ohime. Woman demands my delivery drivers pick up her brother. I got a job fresh out of high school with my girlfriend, now wife, at a large pizza chain. I ended up becoming the shift manager, and I worked there for almost 2 years. I have plenty of stories. This time, I was working the night shift when I got a phone call from Karen. Of course, it's not her real name. And it went something like this. Hi, thank you for calling Pizza Chain. My name is OP. How can I help you today?
Yes, hi. I have been a customer of yours for 4 years.
I know right away this is going nowhere good. Internal sigh.
The thing is, my brother, he's a disabled veteran, and he went to a doctor's appointment earlier and hasn't come back. So I want your delivery driver, if he sees him while delivering pizzas, to pick him up and bring him home.
I was shocked. Sorry, I can't do that. She interrupts.
It's not like he's a danger or anything.
I understand that, but if he were to get hurt being helped in or out of the car, we would be held liable. Additionally, our drivers use their personal cars to make deliveries. I can't ask them to take a person into their car.
Well, it's not like we would press charges.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry, I still can't do that. I don't remember everything she screamed at me since it was years ago. I was so done with this situation.
You millennials don't care about anyone other than yourselves. He saved our lives, he saved your life.
Is the main part that I remember. I sat there thinking to myself, this is a rule made up by people your age. What does this have anything to do with me being a millennial? Eventually she just hung up the phone. I went on with my day. Not even 10 minutes later, I get called over. Since I'm the manager on duty, she's back. Hi, this is OP, and I'm the manager on duty.
Yes, I spoke to one of your workers, and she was very rude to me.
The person you spoke to was me. I'm the manager on duty.
I want the name of your manager.
Sure. His name is blank.
And his last name.
Blank.
And I want his supervisor's name.
Blank, but I'm not sure what his last name is. She scoffs.
You don't even know your manager's name? What's wrong with you?
I didn't bother to tell her that the supervisors above the manager don't work in our store.
I'm gonna call in this morning and have you fired.
She hung up again. I let my supervisor know, and he said I did the right thing and not to worry about it. She never ended up calling back. If you've been watching until here and are enjoying my content, please put some heart emojis in the comment section down below. Our next post is by Unhappy Taste. taught a lesson to my idiot boss who tried to get credit and a promotion for software I made and fired me over it. I was working at a finance company last year. One day, I proposed to my manager that since I have a computer programming background, I know that for manual job XYZ automation can be done using some new tech and it'll reduce 500 man-hours per week. He also has some tech background, so he says it hasn't been done because it can't be done and behaves with condescension. I, being bullheaded and with something to prove and a CV to build, developed it on my own, in my own time, on my own home computer, and then compiled it into a binary, single executable file without code and gave it to him. He got permission from the IT department to run it on his computer and was utterly sure it wouldn't work and he would get to laugh at me, but it did. Even though the software works, Idiot Manager took it as an insult somehow and banned me from using it, giving some inane reason that doing it manually was much more effective, which was a bummer because it actually worked beautifully. Fast forward a quarter or so, my manager was hard pressed for some brownie points during appraisal, so in example of showing initiative, he used my software, but without mentioning me. Some super senior managers took notice and gave him a promotion and a raise. Now, instead of being a sensible guy and coming clean to get the code from me, he calls me into his cabin, behaves rudely, and says I need to submit the code for that software. I ask him why. You said we wouldn't be using it. He's like, either submit the code or you'll be fired. I was already fed up with being treated like crap by this idiot just because he's somehow jealous. So I said F off, I won't submit my code. I know enough law to know that you can't sue me and I resign. I came to know later through my colleagues that this is what he must have wanted, so that he could take the entire credit for himself without any dispute. Little did he know, there was a malicious code module hidden in the executable file, which checked for 1 or 0 on a remote GitHub repository every time it was run. If it was 1, or on the network, do everything as required, but if a 0 is received, that's the emergency signal. I added this little code because his behavior was very crappy to begin with, and I didn't trust him. I was planning to remove it after its official implementation, which never happened, so I went ahead and changed that 1 to a 0 after I was fired, to ensure that no one used it without my permission. Although he couldn't get the code, he did have the executable file, and I was not in the company anymore. In his arrogance, he called a meeting with his boss, his colleagues, and my whole team to show them a demo of this awesome software he had made, and he was using it on his laptop every day without my knowledge. But now that the 1 is a 0, so as soon as he pressed enter, nothing happened. He pressed enter again, nada. Suddenly his laptop was frozen and nothing was working anymore. It took him a little while to realize something fishy was going on, and then he took out the laptop battery and switched it off. By then, all Word, Excel, and PowerPoint files were encrypted, and the executable had erased itself out of existence. I used the same code without the malicious module to get a better job at another company where I'm much more appreciated and the job is actually fun. Then the whole COVID thing happened, and now I'm cozily working from home, and my previous colleagues at that crappy company keep telling me that they're being forced to go into the office. So somehow, it was the best decision I ever accidentally made. The idiot boss's promotion and raise got canceled because he couldn't produce what he promised. He also got reprimanded for losing a lot of important company data, which he attributed to some unknown virus, which wasn't believable because no one was allowed to put anything on those office laptops without security clearance from the IT department. He called me one night, drunk and angry and threatening me that he knows what I did. I feigned ignorance and quoted something like, "Crap happens to crappy people," and blocked his number. But I had to tell somebody about this flawless victory over stupid without being implicated, so here it is. Our final story is by CubeDroid05, entitled Mother Tries to Take Away My Wheelchair So Her Daughter Can Sit Down. Context: this happened before the lockdown started in the UK, so the details of the story are not pinpoint accurate. Cast: me, Mum, M, EM, Idiot, EM's daughter, D, N, Nurse. I had a skiing accident while learning to ski with a friend. This was because we were going on holiday. It had just been going quite well, but in the last 30 minutes, I fell over and broke it. I was stretchered off the slope and taken to the hospital. When I was there, I was given a wheelchair because I couldn't walk and didn't have crutches because it had just broken. We went into the waiting area and it was quite busy because this was back when everybody was taking their kids to the hospital because their child had a cold. Combine that with 2 serious accidents that came in, and we had a long wait ahead of us. Thankfully, the wheelchair was cushioned, which was nice for me. About 3 hours into the wait, a mother and daughter walk into the waiting area. This is EM and D. Daughter had a face mask on and looked worried.
EM, go find a seat, D, while I sign in, but make sure it's away from people.
Daughter, but all the seats are close to each other and it's full.
EM, well, find anyone and sit down. You're wearing a face mask.
D looked around the room and spotted one empty chair and sits down. EM walks over.
Where's my seat, daughter?
Daughter, this is the only empty one, EM. EM stands up for about an hour. She then scours the room and spots me in a nice comfy wheelchair and starts walking over to me. EM,
excuse me, young man.
Me, yes? EM,
I can't help but notice that you're in one of those movable chairs. Could I borrow it from you to sit next to my daughter?
Mom, no, I'm sorry, my son is waiting for an x-ray and can't stand up. EM,
well, if you haven't had the x-ray, then you don't know if it's broken.
Mom, I think it's broken because you can hear the clicking when it moves.
EM, well, it's public property, so you can't use it as private property.
Me, I seriously can't move, so can you leave me alone? EM raises her voice for the waiting room to hear.
What do you mean I can't have the chair? My daughter is very nervous and needs me to sit next to her.
Daughter looks down at the floor, embarrassed. Nurse, can I please have OP for his x-ray? Me and Mom go into the x-ray and get a diagnosis that the leg is broken and get it casted. This takes about 3 hours and takes us until 2 in the morning. I'm then taken home, but while I'm going back through the waiting room, I spot EM and the color drains from her face as she realizes my leg was actually broken. There was no arrests, no removing from the hospital, just a very conveniently timed nurse and the look of horror on EM's face. Edit. Just to be clear, the daughter was not at all entitled. That's all the stories I have for today. Links to the original Reddit posts will be in the description box below. Please stop on by Reddit to show the OP some love and an upvote. If you enjoy my content, please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to let you know when I've uploaded new videos. Thank you for watching and have a great day.